We are accustomed to thinking of our origins through the lens of slow, biological evolution, or the hand of a loving creator. But the earliest written records found in the Middle East suggest a third option, that humanity began as a logistical solution to an industrial crisis. This Sumerian cuneiform tablet features a grid-like, repetitive structure. Functioning more like a technical ledger than a myth, it details quotas for a massive extraction project. These records describe the Anunnaki as colonists with clear jurisdictional roles, mandated to manage planetary resources. The tablets state that their homeworld, Nibiru, faced a failing atmosphere. To stabilize their environment, they required massive quantities of gold to be suspended in their upper air. This requirement brought them to Earth to establish deep vein mining operations. For millennia, lower-tier worker gods performed the excavation. The records describe the labor as grueling, eventually pushing these workers to stage a violent planetary mutiny that brought the entire mission to a standstill. With the mining machinery seized and the labor force in open rebellion, the Anunnaki leaders faced the total collapse of their supply chain. Their homeworld was still dying, and they had lost the means to save it. To maintain the mission, the Anunnaki decided to replace the striking gods with an entirely new workforce. Our species was designed to fill the void left by an alien labor strike. King Anu appointed his 2 sons to fix the crisis. Enlil took command of the surface to enforce discipline and order. His brother, Enki, was tasked with the laboratories, applying a scientist's curiosity to the problem of finding new workers. Enki proposed using the primitive hominids already inhabiting the planet as a biological template. These creatures already possessed the survival skills necessary for Earth's environment, but lacked the capacity for complex labor. The tablets describe genetic splicing. Enki integrated Anunnaki DNA into the existing hominid code, bridging animal instinct and divine intellect. The result was the Adamu, beings designed for utility, intended to blindly follow orders in the mines, without the self-awareness to question their property status. The operation was centered in a Mesopotamian facility called Eden. Far from the paradise of later traditions, the Sumerian records describe a high-security agricultural laboratory, managed under Enlil's strict oversight. However, by using the essence of his own kind to make the Adamu useful, Enki inadvertently gave them the hardware for consciousness. He had created a tool that possessed the hidden capacity for independent thought. Enlil managed Eden with an iron will, treating the workers as biological assets rather than living beings. At his command, the population was culled or relocated, based entirely on the needs of the gold mines. Enki grew disturbed as he watched his creations being treated as livestock. His role shifted from a detached industrial scientist to a protector who saw his own likeness in the faces of the workers. To set them free, Enki committed an act of cosmic treason. He altered the Adamu code to unlock traits his brother had forbidden: self-awareness and the ability to reproduce independently of the laboratory. When Enlil discovered the change, he viewed the awakened humans as a contamination of the mission. His brother had traded a predictable workforce for an unpredictable species that could now think for itself. Enlil immediately banished the sentient humans from the Eden facility. He cast them into the hostile wilderness, fully expecting the environment to eliminate the unauthorized experiment. Our capacity for self-awareness was not a gift from a benevolent skyfather, but the result of an alien scientist choosing his creations over the directives of his own kin. Humanity survived the wilderness. We multiplied and began building civilizations that operated entirely outside the Anunnaki command structure. Enlil watched this growth with paranoia. To him, an expanding, intelligent human population was no longer a resource. It was a threat to the established planetary order. To reset the planet, Enlil triggered an apocalyptic deluge. This global flood was a calculated effort to erase the civilizations his brother had protected. Enlil forced the divine council to swear an oath of silence. The decree was intended to ensure that humanity would receive no warning of the coming storm. Enki found a technical loophole. While he could not speak to a human, the law said nothing about speaking to a structure. He approached the reed wall of a hut and whispered the warning of the flood to the wall itself, knowing a man named Zeusudra was listening on the other side. Through the wall, Enki transmitted the engineering specifications for a sealed, submersible vessel.
These instructions provided the technical means for Sudra to preserve the biological seeds of Earth's life. A single semantic trick by a rebel scientist outsmarted the command of an empire and saved the human race from a decree of total extermination. When the waters receded, Enlil was forced to accept that human resilience had outlasted his control. The Anunnaki eventually abandoned their seats of power, leaving Earth to a species that was now too intelligent to be managed as slaves. According to the records, Enlil's final act was to embed a specific mechanism in our code, a drive to worship and fear authority, designed to keep us looking upward for masters, even in their absence. This architecture of control was inherited by human priesthoods and empires. By hoarding these secrets in guarded vaults, they maintained the systems the Anunnaki left behind, teaching us that obedience is a sacred duty. This history has left us with a dual nature. We live with an engineered instinct to follow the hierarchy, yet we carry the spark Enki gave us, the drive to seek forbidden knowledge and question the order of the world. Our intelligence and our defiance are not flaws to be corrected. They are our inheritance, the surviving legacy of a cosmic rebellion that began in the laboratories of the deep past.